use my little coaster set to put these in, and I used this to help me put it over the beads over here. It's gonna probably get in the back of it too, Rachel. But
yes, that's what I was hoping for.
Okay.
Yeah, I want the back filled in.
I'm gonna kind of dump it, and then I'm gonna just pick it up and let it drip for a little bit, so that it doesn't have some weird shapes. But if it does get weird shapes, that's what sandpaper is for.
Okay.
And it looks like it has finished dripping, so it should be good now. I just put heat to it, but I'm gonna put some more heat to it real quick with my heat gun. And it will help pop any bubbles, and it will help it to have a better and faster drying time. And as you can tell, I am not wearing gloves. I will have sticky hands though, so I have to be careful about what I touch. I'm just gonna let that lay there.
Let's talk about not wearing gloves, because with other resins you have to wear gloves, and with your vision you can't tell what you're doing with gloves. What happened with the other types of resins versus this food grade resin?
The other resins I used would burn my fingers, or they would make them even more tacky. But it was more like I would get a little bit of resin on me by accident, and it would burn my finger even after I washed it off. Because I always wash my hands as soon as I am finished.
Right, and that's why being toxic resins, they were toxic on the skin as well, and this is not.
The particular resin I use is this Pop. You have your two parts, A and B, so they're easy to mix. I use silicone. I like this because it's bendable, and I can easily put, I didn't do it yet, but I could put like dots because I'm blonde. I could put dots and know about where it's at because you can feel the heaviness easily.
Okay.
So you can feel the heaviness, and if I didn't, I can feel where my resin's actually at because it's squishing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I like this because it's also silicone, so it's going to be easy to clean off.
Right.
But make sure you're definitely wearing old shirts and things of that sort in nature, because if not, you're going to have an issue. And it's not going to be a fun issue at all. You're going to be mad. Now that I've got Rachel's jewelry with resin on it, I'm going to let it just sit there. I'm not going to touch it. And it will sit there and it will dry for a good 48 hours. It might even be done for 24 hours since it doesn't have to be molded. I get a little bit of lead time to play with the resin before it starts hardening. So I usually have a good 20 minutes to play with my resin. When I say play, I mean getting it into the molds and stuff. So now I'm working on somebody's coasters. And because I want these to start off clear, and because I'm going to just put a little bit, I'm not putting a whole lot. I like to start in the middle. This resin, I like it too because it's self-leveling, which means I can just put it in the middle. I may have to do some leveling. With this being clear, I cannot see that. So what I will do is I will try to just, like anything, you know how to level it.
Like a cake, you roll it around.
Exactly. I do it with all of them first before they start to settle on me. I just want a thin layer at this moment because I'm going to be putting stickers on this part, and then later I will add more layers. And now I can go around the sides. It's not going to make any indentions because
and how do you,
it doesn't harden.
Yeah, and how do you determine how much you're going to put in?
Just by how I'm feeling on here.
Okay.
So right now, I know this is a perfect layer. They all seem like they might be about the same thickness. And even if it's a little bit thicker, it'll be fine. Come on in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.